friends, welcome back, and if you're new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Today I have a knitting pattern to share with you for which stitches are required in the multiple of 4 plus 2. So I have taken 4 6 are 24 plus 2 26 stitches. Starting off with the first row, the edge stitch is slipped off or a knit. Yarn forward. We are going to purl. So this is the first row of the pattern, and the first row is just going to be a purl till the second last stitch of this particular row. We are just going to purl. I would like to repeat, this is a 12 row pattern. It is an easy one, and stitches are required in the multiple of 4 plus 2. For this particular sample, I have taken 4 6 are 24 plus 2 26 stitches, and I have reached the end. You can either do a knit or we can purl. Let's move on to the second row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. Yarn forward. We are going to slip 3 stitches without working. So 3 stitches slipped, yarn backwards, we work a knit. This is the second row of the pattern, and this is the sequence. Yarn forward, slip 3 stitches, yarn backward, a knit. This is the second row of the pattern. Yarn forward, we are going to slip 3 stitches, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, we are going to slip the 3 stitches, yarn backwards, a knit. This is the second row of the pattern. It is an easy pattern, trust me. It is very easy to work as well as remember. Yarn forward, 3 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, and that's the edge stitch, which is also going to be a knit. So the second row of the pattern has come to an end. This is how it looks. Now moving on to the third row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that, we are going to purl all across. This is the third row of the pattern. It is very easy. We just need to purl all across till the very last stitch of this particular row. So the third row comes to an end. Onto the fourth row of the pattern, which is going to be like the first row. The edge stitch is slipped off. Yarn forward, we are going to slip 3 stitches without working, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, let us slip the 3 stitches, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, 3 stitches slipped off again, yarn backwards, a knit. So this is the sequence for the fourth row of the pattern. Yarn forward, 3 stitches are slipped off, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, 3 stitches are being slipped off, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, let us slip the 3 stitches, 1 2 and 3, yarn backwards, a knit. Now the edge stitch is also going to be a knit. So the fourth row comes to an end. Let us move on to the fifth row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that, I am going to purl all across. See, the pattern is so easy. And here the fifth row comes to an end. The edge stitch is also going to be a purl. Now let us move on to the sixth row of the pattern. Please watch carefully. The edge stitch is slipped off. Straight from here we are going to start. The first stitch is a knit. Now below the 2 strands or 2 loops, we are going to pass our right needle, and the second stitch we are going to knit and pull from underneath the loop. After that, we work a knit, so a bow is formed. Now that's the knit stitch, which we had worked a knit from the very beginning. After that, we have reached the point where the 3 stitches were slipped. So first one we are going to knit. This is how it is to be done. After that, from below the 2 strands, we are going to pass our right needle and into the second stitch, and then we work a knit. That's done. So the bow is formed and the third stitch is going to be a knit. So our two bows are formed. That's the stitch which was a knit from the very beginning, so it is a knit. Now the three stitches which were slipped off, the first is a knit, the second one, to work that we have to go underneath the loops and then work a knit carefully. Actually, if you do it once or twice, you'll understand it is not tough at all. And this is the 6th row of the pattern. So from underneath the loop, we pass our right needle into the second stitch. After that, it's simple knit, and then we release the stitch. Knit. Now the straight knit which we have been working knit. Now these are the three stitches which were slipped off. The first is a knit. To work the second one, we have to go under the loop and then work it, and then it's a knit again. That's a knit. Now these are the three stitches which were slipped off. The first is going to be a knit. To work the second one, we are going to go under the loop into the second stitch and then work a knit. The third stitch is a knit. After that, the two remaining stitches is also going to be a knit. So the 6th row comes to an end and our bows are already formed. Moving on to the 7th row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. After that, we are going to purl all across. This is the 7th row of the pattern. Very easy pattern, and the pattern is perfect for sweaters, cardigans, caps, socks, anything. So the 7th row has come to an end. Let us move on to the 8th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that, there will be a change in the position of the pattern, so we need to work 2 number of knit. That's the edge stitch. After that, 2 number of knit, yarn forward. Now see, the position of the pattern is changing. There we had worked a knit, so the position of the bow is changing. Yarn forward, 3 stitches slipped off, yarn backwards. On top of the bow, we are going to work a knit. Now again, yarn forward. If you look at the pattern, you'll understand the position of the pattern has changed. Now yarn forward, 3 stitches are slipped off without working, yarn backwards, a knit. So right into the middle of the bow, we are working a knit. Yarn forward, slip the 3 stitches again, yarn backwards, a knit. So this is the 8th row of the pattern. I told you this is a 12 row pattern, and stitches required are in the multiple of 4 plus 2. Yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward. We are going to slip the 2 stitches, yarn backwards, a knit. In the ends, we might not get 3 stitches, we may get 2 stitches. We are going to do it that way. On to the 9th row of the pattern, the edge stitch is slipped off. After that, we are going to purl all across. This is the 9th row of the pattern. So here my 9th row comes to an end. It is an easy pattern, perfect for sweaters, cardigans. Now moving on to the 10th row. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that, I work 2 number of knit, yarn forward. We are going to repeat yarn forward, slip the 3 stitches without working, yarn backwards, a knit. This is the 10th row of the pattern. Yarn forward, we slip the 3 stitches without working, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, we are going to slip the 3 stitches into the right needle without working, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, we are going to slip the 3 stitches without working, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, we are going to slip the 3 stitches without working into the right needle. After that, yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, we are going to slip the 2 stitches into the right needle, and finally the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So the 10th row has come to an end. On to the 11th row of the pattern, which is again very easy. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that I am going to purl all across till the very last stitch of this particular row. So here my 11th row has come to an end. This is how our pattern looks. Moving on to the 12th row of the pattern. Here we are going to make the little bows. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that 2 number of knit, that is to balance the pattern. Now this is the point. The 3 stitches are there which were slipped off. The first one we knit, and to work the second one we have to go under the loops and then work the second stitch. We work a knit there and then release the stitch. The third stitch is also a knit. This is how the little bows are formed. Now again I have reached the point where we have the slipped 3 stitches. The first is a knit. To work the second we have to go under the loop and work a knit and then release. After that a knit. Now this is going to be a knit again. Now the 3 stitches which were slipped off, the first is a knit. To work the second we have to go under the loop and then work the second stitch. It has to be a knit. After that the third stitch is also a knit and a knit. Now again working the pattern, making the little bows. To work the second stitch we have to go under the loop and then work the knit, and the third stitch is also a knit. This is how our pattern looks. Other than this, all of it actually is a knit, but just that for the second stitch we have to go from underneath the loop. That is all we have to remember. Other than that it's all straight and simple. Now here we have 2 stitches. The first is going to be a knit. That's the end, so we just have 2 stitches. Now that's the second stitch, so there we are going to work a bow. It's going to be a tiny one, and then this is how we work from under the loop. That's a knit, and then we release the stitch. The edge stitch is also going to be a knit. So the 12th row of the pattern has come to an end, and our first set of pattern is done. As I told you, this is a 12-row pattern, perfect for sweaters, cardigans, and it needs stitches in the multiple of 4 plus 2. Thank you my dear friends for staying till the end. If you all have found the video useful, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members. If you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing and stay tuned for interesting videos. So till we meet again, it is bye bye for today.